And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Contact there entering turn 1.
Around goes the 9. Oh, he comes back up the track and he gets flobbered. Josiah picks it up into the air.
Oh, big wiggle.
Here comes Lyle using the bottom south car closing in behind.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Welcome everybody, BTDY is live tonight on VSPEED Simulators Anonymous 150 at Iowa Speedway. 175 laps, 150 miles. This is race 4 out of 20. Tonight I'm joined by yours truly, Alec Martinez. And Alec, we've had a variety of different tracks. We just came off the Roval last week. Here we are at a short track. By definition, short track. Tight grooves, tight turn 4, a lot of similarities to Richmond Speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of similarities to Richmond, but a little more worn out than Richmond, and a lot more character, I would personally say. Me personally, I've always been more of a fan of this track here in Newton, Iowa, but yeah, like I said, a lot of people compare these track, Iowa and Richmond here, but tonight we're going to see a lot different. The sun is starting to set. They had practice in the late afternoon, but tonight we are going to have a show. Last week at the Roval didn't disappoint at all with Jeff Wright picking right up where he left off. Jeff Wright looks like he's going to be your pole sitter tonight for the Simulators Anonymous 150. And I'll tell you, we are going to be in for a heck of a show. This track's going to widen out. We're going to see a lot of multi-grooves. Probably going to see a lot of beating and banging. We know what short tracks are capable of. I have a feeling we're in for a real treat here tonight. And I'll tell you, we're going to be in for a show. And I'm looking forward to it. We've had the last 3 winners have been first-time winners. So the question is, are we going to get a first-time winner again? Or will we get a 4th different winner? So I'm looking forward to this race. This is going to be awesome, and hope all of you ladies and gentlemen sitting down and enjoying this race. I think we're going to be in for a show, so kick back, relax, and grab yourself a nice cold beverage and enjoy this race.
All right, as we get set to grid, we're going to take a quick commercial break to show you all the sponsors of this league here at BTDY, and then we're going to go through your grid and maybe pull up a driver in here before pre-race.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader, known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey street fairs. You can also check out her YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as her Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
All right, as we get set to grid these drivers climbing inside their cars, getting ready to start those engines. Alec Martinez is down on pit road. We're going to pull in a driver here. Somebody you guys might have a little experience with running the VSPEED network. It's been around a long time running this thing, so figured it'd be fitting to get this guy in the booth.
Yeah, let's see if I got Adam Baker, Alec Martinez, and Bradley Cooper up in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy, driver?
Oh boy. Yeah, I got you.
Well, buddy, it's good to have you out there on the racetrack here tonight in that VSPEED. I think you're the 48-44, one of the numbers. It's good to have you out there, brother. How are you feeling for this race?
I'm feeling all right. A little nervous to get back at it. We got a big field here tonight, and really just want to not get in anybody's way or cause any trouble here tonight. Just trying to go for the win, but gonna do the best I can.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we wish you good luck there. Like I said, keep that car clean, and I think you're going to be back at Texas, right?
Yeah, I think so in a few weeks.
All right. Well, good luck here tonight, brother, and we'll hopefully be talking to you maybe in Victory Lane.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good broadcast.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Adam
All
Baker.
right. Adam Baker, and he's going to be starting in the 10th position tonight. Pretty good grid spot. I mean, starting in the top 10, that's where you want to be, right?
Let's go through that grid real quick here. We got start off here. We got Jeff Wright, your winner from last week. So he'll be rolling off first here. Lowe's 48 machine. That car was bad fast last week at the Roval. He'll be rolling off on pole. Ben Bafford, who had a great battle with David Shieldhouse last week. He'll be rolling off second. Third, how about the Clash winner? Bentley Glazer will be rolling off in that 87 car. Fourth will be AJ Stravata, the Italian Stallion. Fifth's going to be Eric Hutton in the 88 Cadence machine. On to his outside, Keith Biato. And seventh, David Shieldhouse. He's going to be eighth, or David Shieldhouse, our Homestead winner. Eighth's going to be Joshua Banks. Ninth will be Seth Hatchell. And our friend, broadcaster Adam Baker, will be rolling off in 10th.
Outside the top 10, we've got Bailey Turner starting 11th with Yusuf Ghali in 12th position. We saw Yusuf start on the pole last week at the Roval and struggled a little bit. Ryan Gamel and Kevin McGarvey, 13th, 14th, 15th position. Max Cost, Reggie Ortega in 16th, 17th, Jeremiah Vincent. Alan Dice back out on the track in 18th position. 19th, Nick Starling, and Chris Simmer will be 20th.
21st, Eric Lambert. 22nd, Jordan Shepler. 23rd will be Dallas Sullivan. 24th, Josiah Vincent. 25th, Kyle McGarvey. 26th, rookie, I believe that's Kevin Barrett. 27th, Noah Lakowski. 28th will be Cody Atkins. 29th will be Lane Sulfers. And I believe 30th will be Dennis Faircloth. I think we got 2 laps of pacing here, so we'll go through this last part of the field here.
Kyle M. Payne and Mark McFadden in 31st, 32nd position. We were rushing through that, thought we were out of time. The lights were out on the pace truck. But, Mark Beverly will be 34th and 35th to Zachary Smith. Robert Gilmore, 36th position. Jordan Brockel, 37th to round out your field. That was a long field. It's going to be a lot of cars out here tonight.
Yeah, 36 cars. I mean, we'll be taking green. Mark Beverly, unfortunately, out here. Before we get green, I got to ask you, Bradley, who is your pick tonight?
Well, I tell you what, Jeff Wright, he was fast last week, and I went with somebody that I've never really picked any guys that I don't know their names, and I took a gamble, and it almost worked. It almost worked. I think this week, I see Keith Mayatu dominating this race.
Keith Mayatu,
with the 36.
That's not a horrible pick there, and you know what? He's so good here. He won here last year in the Premier Series, and he's just such a great driver here at this Iowa Speedway. Give me Ben Baffert to win here, and I think we got an extra lap of caution here because Bentley Glazer will have to start from the back of the field, unfortunately. But yeah, now the pace car lights will go off here. We have one more lap to green. Again, thank you for joining us here tonight for the Martin Sports the Simulators Anonymous 150 Simulators Anonymous drivers. In this field, I think the highest starting one is going to be Kevin McGarvey in the 00. So shout out to them. And then you got McGarvey, Lambert, Dennis Faircloth, Robert Gilmore, and Kyle McGarvey, the McGarvey brothers, of course, on the Simulators Anonymous team. Look for them to be going through the field and starting to be back in as well, Jordan Brockel. But we are going to be in for a show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Again, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. These guys never disappoint here for the Iowa Speedway, the Corn State, if you so will. He's tracked out here in Newton, Iowa. Jeff Wright, this week's pole sitter, last week's winner at the Charlotte Roval. Now on an oval from Iowa. Lead us to green. The pace truck will take the hard left-hand turn to pit road into the Geico restart zone. Right, Baffert front row, green flag, and we're underway from the Iowa Speedway.
And there they complete lap 1. Jeff Wright's going to lead the first one. Eric Hutton up there to second, but he's got the 23 of Baffert on the inside. Looks like the inside line's a little bit quicker early on in this run, but as this race progresses, Alec, you know that middle groove's going to kind of work its way up the track more and more as they get closer to the night.
Absolutely. Usually these tires will fall off. Iowa absolutely chews these tires apart. One of the oldest surfaces we're going to race on this year. These tires are going to be begging for help. Not a lot of rubber. There's a little bit of rubber from practice, but as these cars put rubber down, the tires will start falling off a little less. And as well, the sun's starting to set here in Newton, Iowa, and these tires will definitely like that, and these cars will like that. More grip, and I'll tell you, if we look from fifth on back, Keith Mayatu, AJ Scrivano, Adam Baker, and Seth Hatchell up in the big side-by-side. These guys spreading out the lanes here, and look at how wide this racetrack is. Side-by-side battling, single file throughout the top 4. But once we get into fifth, a lot of battling between Mayatu, Scrivano, and then here comes our friend Adam Baker in the 44 car up to the outside as well. And how about the guys in front of them, the top for the battle for third? Ben Baffert, David Schildhouse. We know the battle they had last week. They were the stars of the show last week. And now, right now, we're looking at these guys battling here. The question is, who's saving tires and who isn't?
Well, based off of what I'm seeing right now, I think it's use them while you got them, because once you get past probably the 10 lap mark, you're just going to run out of any ability to pass on the inside. So if you're on the bottom right now, use them. If you can do it, do it.
And Baffert just taps the wall there off of turn 4. Lap 5 already goes onto the board, and on to lap 6. And these guys early in the race passing each other as Baffert trying to save a little tire. We're known He's known for saving tires, and I was talking to Bailey Turner, who's already up inside the top 10. He's up in 9th. He was telling me earlier he's worried about as this run goes on, dirty air gets a lot worse. And as for anybody new joining us or new to the racing spectrum of stock car racing, dirty air is not your friend. The traffic, the airflow, being right behind somebody, the front nose doesn't like that. And when the front nose doesn't turn, the front tires start to wear out more. Definitely not a fan of wearing tires out, especially on such a worn out racetrack here.
Well, as this race progresses, you were talking about the transition. We're going to have the nighttime. So you're going to have a track that rubbers up on an abrasive surface. Then the surface is going to cool down a little bit. We're gonna see a transition of drivers. I think this top 10 is gonna change tremendously. As we're 3 wide going into 1 and 2, the 33, 23, and the 8 on the outside. This is kind of the same as what we saw last week. The same guys up here in this top 10, and they're picking up right where they left off.
Look at the different lanes being used. Hatchell way up on the outside. Maybe starting to find some grip in that third lane. They're 3 wide here.
in the middle.
Wow,
33 I can't believe they're running 3 wide here. Stravato on the bottom.
Not even lap 10, and these guys are already moving around. Look at Jeremiah Vincent in the Hooters number 9 car. He's putting himself in the mix. And how about Seth Hatchell getting the 2-for-1 special early in this race? Baffert from 2nd all the way back down to 8th. How about the 9 car? Jeremiah Vincent he didn't show up he was here last week. Didn't have a great finish, but this week, how about this? Running inside the top 10. He was up there at Daytona as well. Led some laps at Homestead. This Xfinity car definitely to Jeremiah's liking.
You see Baffert falling back. He's almost going to fall out of the top 10. Had a great start to this race. Maybe the early setup just doesn't work for him. He might have a long run car. Might be saving his tires. We're going to find out as this race progresses. But back up here at the front, Jeff Wright pulled out to about 0.7 of a second over Eric Hutton. And Eric Hutton last week didn't have a nose. This week they got the car all in one piece. And it's good to see he's got a good car under him. Running a very high groove, though.
Love seeing the speed out of that 88 car. He's always been one of the best drivers I've known. He really flourished when we had the Gen 6 car, the old Gen 6 car with 750 horsepower, low downforce. Eric was always a force to be reckoned with. And this Xfinity car reminds me a lot of how that Gen 6 car used to drive. Eric Hutton from those drivers. Get some momentum going for him. Eric Hutton will definitely be a driver to watch out for, and could be a championship sleeper or championship contender, and could be a sleeper maybe to just win this race. And right now showing it inside the top 5. I think he qualified 3rd, and he's working himself up through the field as well. He's one of the guys that's really good here at Iowa. Won a Cup race here back in the next gen. That's Ryan Gimmel in the 6 Busch League bound Chevrolet Camaro. He's side by side with Bailey Turner for 10th, and Gimmel starting to work his way up through the field. Joshua Banks as well. Good to have him back. Wasn't here last week. He's starting to work his way up through the field in that 35 car in the Mac Tools racing car. Yusuf Gall is starting outside the top 10. He's still staying in 13th right now. And like we said, the real question is, how are these tires going to fare after 70 laps on a run? I heard the fuel tanks make 70 to 80 laps, and that's a lot of life on these tires.
A lot of time for mistakes to be made and ruin the entire run. I know it only takes one corner on the exit of 4 to just wear off that right rear, and then you just spend the rest of your run nursing it, trying not to lose positions. So these guys got to be careful. I've seen a lot of 3 wide though. I'm really impressed with these guys running 3 wide, and we haven't had a single caution.
This mid-pack is crazy. When you get to behind Alan Dice, you got Noah Mikowski. Eric Lambert was in the mix. Scheckler, Josiah Vincent. Bentley Glazer had to start dead last. He had to start shotgun on the field in that 87 car. He's already worked his way up into 24th. Started 37th, and he's up into 24th. Going for 23rd on Josiah Vincent. Definitely somebody you might have to look for. He's going to have a lot of experience in traffic, especially starting so far back.
Vincent up there on the outside, and we're talking about Glazer starting from the back of the field. That's a lot of cars to pass, but you also have the advantage of maybe some people not running you as hard. You can save your tires for the long run.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely something to look forward to as we go later into this race. This field single filing out at the top 10. This is really where the battles are happening with Glazer, Mikowski, and Josiah Vincent. And back here you got Kevin Barrett. Lane Sulfurs for the 29th position. Zach Smith, Mark McFadden, Casey Lakatos. He's 1 lap down. I don't know what happened to him. He's 1 lap down here. He's running in the 36th position. All these spots Not going to count here. He's 1 lap down. Hopefully, I think Casey's going to be hoping for a caution here, which you never know. It's possible here at Iowa. We know short track racing, lots of close racing, lots of beating and banging here. It's definitely possible. Up at the front, looks like David Shieldhouse starting to make the attack on Eric Hutton in the 88. And I think what we're seeing here is David Shieldhouse. He's shown speed on the 1.5 miles. He's shown speed now on the short tracks and even on the road courses. David Shieldhouse, I'll tell you, he's working on being a championship contender, championship favorite at that. It's possible here as he's side by side. You can see out the back windshield of who's that? David Shieldhouse on board in that Heartbeat Hot Sauce Company car. Bright number 20 on the roof here. Tell you, David's been putting together some really good runs. Heck of a run last week. He said he wasn't a big fan of road courses and showed that he still had speed on it. Right now, pushing Eric Hutton. Like you said earlier in the race, look at where everybody's running now. Higher up on the racetrack. The bottom works for maybe the first 5 to 10 laps. Then you'll start seeing everybody migrate up middle to top here, especially in 3 and 4. And maybe at the end of this race, might see guys up on the wall.
As we saw last week, we had a lot of the same guys up there in the top 10. I know that the frustration sank in last week because guys started running side by side and they let the leaders run away. But at the same time, if you're looking for a podium, you got to go for it. Less than 5 laps to go. I don't think any of those emotions have carried over. Hopefully everything's settled down. You know, you heard it from Shieldhouse at that post-race interview that he had no hard feelings. He's just going to leave it at that. But they were racing side by side right at the start of this thing. Unfortunately, the 23 of Baffert has fallen all the way back to the 10th position, and he'll find himself about 4 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, I know, Ben, I think he might be saving tires here. He did this. He had a strategy last year in the Cup race with the next-gen car where he laid back, I think, 8 seconds, saved tires like crazy, drove up through the field, and won the thing by 5. So definitely possible for Ben Baffert to maybe work his way up. We know he likes to save tires, and sometimes in this track turns into a tire-saving game. Who can save tires the most? But right now, from starting second all the way back to 10th, definitely going to have to dig himself out of a hole. That's a lot of cars to pass. And behind him, Joshua Banks in 10th, but starting to get a battle for the 12th position. Yusuf Ghali closing in on his teammate Bailey Turner, Reggie Ortega behind them in that 2 Chevy Accessories red, white, and blue cars. You can see Ghali right on the bumper. He might have a little right front damage. See that hood? I don't know if that's just the way the hoods are shaped on these Supras, but it looks like we have a little damage there on the right front corner. It looks like that hood is popped up just a little bit.
It's got a little touch on it there where the hood's popped up, and I think maybe a brush with the wall. We've seen a few different guys kick the dust up on the entry of 1. That safer barrier kind of pops out a little early. It's deceitful.
It really is, and up inside the top 5. How about Adam Baker in the top 5? 44 VSPEED machine running for it. Adam, a huge fan of Iowa. Said it's probably one of his top 3 favorite racetracks. Battling with his teammate Keith Mayato, running about a lane higher, getting that clean air to the nose. And he's putting together a solid run. But Jeremiah Vincent just getting by the 33 of AJ Stravato. Vincent up into 7th. I'm curious, where did he start?
Vincent started back in the 17th position,
Wow.
so he's gained 10 spots here in the first 26 laps of this race. And I tell you what, watching last season in the Contender Series, what Jeremiah Vincent could do at certain tracks, it was crazy how he could come back at Bristol and do some of the things that he did after getting spun out, coming back from 14th, 15th position up into the top 3 in less than 20 laps. So just incredible driver. I look forward to see what Jeremiah can do. We didn't get to talk about him too much at the Roval last week, so I am interested to see what he's very good at these 1.5 mile tracks and these cookie cutter tracks.
Definitely is, and like I said, following the progress of Bentley Glazer, he's up into 19th now. We talked about him last season, 24th. He's gotten by the gaggle of cars behind him now. So he's setting his eyes on the Simulators Anonymous driver of Eric Lambert in that 19. He's up battling Nick Starling for the 17th position at the Simulators Anonymous Toyota Supra. He's doing a heck of a job here. It's at the top 20. Bentley Glazer down to the inside. You can see behind him that bright neon yellow front end of Alan Dice. He's battling with his teammate Jordan Shepler. Then Max Koss, Dallas Sullivan going at it here for outside the top, or for the 20th position here. These guys all over the look at the utilization of lines here. As you can see those bumps dangerous in turn 1. As you can see Koss in that Reese's Pieces Ford Mustang. How about that? Reese's Pieces. Haven't seen that on a car, at least in an Xfinity car in a while, but Koss representing that tank scheme really nicely. He's got Noah Mikulski in the AutoZone number 10 behind him. A lot of battling here. This is definitely a ton of battling right here.
I want to go on board with Cost and see if he does that again in 1 and 2. I don't think he will. You get up above that second
Yeah.
white line, and it's very bumpy. The car pretty much bottoms out and shoots you towards the outside wall. You don't have any business up there. It's very tough to drive that line. I would highly recommend avoiding it. And
Oh yeah, those bumps are atrocious up there. You get up there and I know you just drive up the racetrack. So let's see, I don't know what happened. Chris Samard, I think, got up into the outside wall here. Looked like contact from Reggie Ortega, and yeah, he got up into the outside wall pretty hard. That was on lap 30.
Does have a lot of damage on the right side. The right front's pretty kicked in. He's nursing it back down to the bottom of the track. I don't know if that maybe it was a pass gone bad, but I would try to get a replay, but I'm not sure if we can go back that far now. How far back?
Yeah, I don't know if there's good to find anything there. It looks like Ortega got tight behind the 54, drifted up, and just touched the left front fender of Chris Samard, and he went up into the outside wall, battling for the 6th position, AJ Stravato and Seth Hatchell in the 8. These guys going at it. Hatchell had a great run. Remember, he started deep in the field last week at the Roval. Was battling inside the top 5 with Ben Baffert and Shieldhouse until he made contact with Eric Hutton and got spun. I think he brought it home 7th, and right now running in the 7th position, battling the 33 of AJ Stravato. And I will tell you, look at this top 5. It's starting to close in. Jeff Wright starting to lose some lap time. He's starting to fall back to the clutches of Eric Hutton and David Shieldhouse. Remember we were saying he got to end up getting about a second half lead. Now he's back down to 0.6 of a second ahead of the 88 Canes machine. Shieldhouse Mayato showing up as well. Adam Baker showing up. This top 10 starting to get really close. Right to the top 9. We got Jeremiah Vincent tagging along until we get side by side with Ben Baffert and Joshua Banks. They're going at it here.
A pretty big split from 8th position back to 9th position Baffert, about 1.5 seconds. So this top 8 is really split off from the rest of the field, and they're chasing down Jeff Wright. They're starting to that accordion effect where the leader pulls out early and then the rest of the field starts to catch up to him. What could be really beneficial if you're 5th or 6th on back right now is seeing these top 2 start racing side by side. That would be really beneficial, I think, for everybody on back. But right now, Jeff Wright's, he's cleared some lap traffic, so we have that to contend with. He gets around the 77 of Salford now.
Something we haven't really talked about, in BTDY recently, but it's so good to have. There's 36 cars on the racetrack, and you know what that means when we get on the short track. Lap traffic always going to be a problem, or always going to be a factor once we get to the short tracks. So you got a lot of guys on different ways of pace. Right now, I think the next car that will be lapped is, if Jeff Wright gets to him, is Robert Gilmore in the 40, and right there he's got a gaggle of race cars ahead. They're about 2 seconds up the road. You got Mark McFadden, Kyle Payne, Robert Gilmore. Those guys, Jeff Wright's going to run into them. The question is, can David Shieldhouse and Eric Hunt maybe catch up to Jeff Wright? As you can see over that
front stretch, caution is out.
Is that Adam Baker? No, Adam Baker's around in the infield.
I think he lost it coming off of turn 4. Maybe had a little help. I'm not sure entirely, but that's going to be, he's going to lose a ton of ground. Back to the 30th position here for the 44 machine. Let's go back and take a look and see if we can find out what happened here.
Got left rear damage, so I'm going to assume maybe a little contact with somebody here. Let's see what happened here.
Yeah, a little bit of contact. We had the 33 of Stravato.
Oh, yeah.
Got into the left quarter, and I mean, there's no damage. The 44 did a great job. Baker did a great job keeping it off the wall. But yeah, big surprise. Let's right on board with him here and show you just how surprised he was.
I think looking there, he might have tried to get underneath the lap car, Lane Solfridge here. He got loose there too, and then I think Stravato was there, and just that's more of a racing incident there. One car getting loose, one car drifting up the track, and a little contact. Unfortunate there for Adam Baker, but now pit stops here. These guys definitely going to like some new tires here after a 39-lap run. We'll see what happens here. Jeff Wright leading him down to pit road here. Eric Hutton behind him. Who's going to be the guys to maybe gain some track position here from pit stops along pit road 40 miles an hour. So, and you got to be careful here. Don't miss your stall. And look at this. Is this a drone cam?
It's the drone cam. Pretty neat shot, I think. That's an awesome shot right there. We've got all kinds of different cameras here today. But I can tell you one that's not great. Anything pit road here, very tough to work with at Iowa because that curved 1 and 2 there on
Man,
the
look at
exit.
that.
And oh
Oh,
man,
Shieldhouse.
just about won the shot. Shieldhouse on the exit of pit. Oh boy, we're talking like less than a tenth of a second there.
3 wide off the pit road there with Gebel, Banks, and Vincent. Yeah, great stop out of the 20 bunch there. That'll put Shieldhouse into
He got
second.
around Hutton. Shieldhouse wanted to get around Hutton there. They were starting to pass each other when that caution came out.
Is that Ryan Gimmel? Did Ryan Gimmel get a penalty? I think he did. Him and Reggie Ortega speeding on pit road for the 6 and the 2. That's going to
lose
bring
quite a few
Ortega back in.
positions. Get an EOL for the speeding on pit road. That's fortunately happened under yellow. I know speeding on pit road is never fun.
And it's better to get it out of the way early in the race. I know we're 40 into 175 lap race. That's still a little bit to go. I know time's kind of trickling down as we're on a short track here, but yeah, unfortunate for the 6 and the 2 there. Those are definitely some fast cars that you hate to see have to go up into the back. But Bentley Glazer in that 87, like we said, he had to start in the back, and now he's up inside, or he's into 12th now. So successful drive through the field so far. So I'm sure Reggie and Ryan can probably get to the field here, and Casey Lacatus is gonna stay out and get the wave. No, he's gonna get the wave around. Lane Sulfridge was the lucky dog.
That's right.
And
yeah, Lane went down a lap just about maybe 4 laps prior to that caution. So big break for these guys. They're able to get back on the lead lap, and I think as this race progresses, you're going to see more of that. If these guys go green for the rest of this race, I think you're going to see maybe 15 or so cars end up a lap down.
Yeah, if we're to go green the whole entire way, but I don't know. This may be where the business picks up. We've seen these guys. They had 39 laps of green flag racing. They kind of know how the lines shifted. They know how the lines work now. Probably going to see a little more aggressiveness out of these drivers, and the question then becomes, we'll definitely see guys are going to start racing harder, and then you're going to see some contact. And we saw it right there with Adam Baker and AJ Stravato. Those guys getting together. And unfortunately, Adam going around there in the infield grass. But, yeah, this is where business is going to pick up. And I'll tell you, Casey Lacatus is going to hope for a caution here, a quick caution, so he can get some fresh Goodyear Eagles on that car. And Kevin Barrett's going to like the caution because he'll be the first car lap down. Unfortunately, I think Lane Sulfridge had a mechanical issue or something. He has pulled it behind the wall and into the garage.
Yeah. Lane Sulfridge out for the race. We have 1 car lap down, like you mentioned, Kevin Barrett. And then the field, Casey Lacatus will be the last car on the field on the lead lap. Adam Baker is going to be starting back in 33rd position. So he's got a lot of ground to make up. Has a top 5 car. We know he does, but he's going to have to navigate through all these other guys. And here we go. 48 machine. Jeff Wright going to start right where he began this race, on the pole. To his outside, David Shieldhouse in second, Eric Hutton third, Keith Mayatu, and AJ Stravato, your top 5 as we get set to go green.
We get a green here, pace truck with the hard left-hand turn down to pit road and into the Geico restart zone. The 48 will lead him once again. Green flag back out in the air, and Jeff Wright leads him go here, and it's like he'll get out ahead.
Down to the bottom of the track, already kind of peeking with some 3 wide back there. Mid-pack, you can see him coming onto the backstretch as they come off of turn 2, and we got contact with the wall back here.
Joshua Banks catches the outside wall, 3 wide here between Golly, Vincent, and Turner, back down to 2 wide. It sounds like David Shieldhouse may have jumped the restart, and we got trouble mid-pack. Reggie Ortega, Lacatus is in it. And is that Ryan Gimmel as well? And we talk about those guys just speeding on pit road, and those 2 get caught up in an incident on lap 44.
We got Casey Lacatus also involved. No damage for him, but
oh, look at Ortega. His car crap walking.
Yeah, his car is done for the night.
And we talk about those 2 speeding on pit road early, and this is the trouble that can happen when you get put back in the back half of the field. Here, we'll take a look at what happened with our BTDY Martin Sports replay, and you can see it all right there. Oh, and Adam Baker get caught up in it as well. Take a look at that. Was that Reggie Ortega, I think, was that Kyle Payne that got into the 6 of Ryan Gemmel? And, oh, man, both 3 guys that had issues that last caution, all caught up there. You can see the 68 slides up there, gets into the 6, into the 2, and hard hit for Adam Baker. And then Casey Lakatos gets a piece of it as well. Unfortunate, a lot of those guys are going to have a ton of damage here that might be race-altering.
Yeah, the crab walking machine of Reggie Ortega is probably done for the night. Let's ride on board here with the 44 of Baker. He sees this massive, just a big clip, and he clips the 50 that just got back on the lead lap there.
And
like
Lakatos might be fine.
Baker already had a hard enough task. Now he's got a little damage. I don't think it's going to affect him too much.
I don't know. That's a pretty hard hit to the right front. Maybe a little suspension damage there. And let's see here with let's see. Yeah, Casey Lakatos might be fine. He might get lucky out of that. He'll be able to put fresh tires on. I will say as well, Yusuf Ghali in the 54, he brought it down pit road. I think he was getting that right front damage fix that he had on that Vans Toyota Supra. He's brought it down to pit road. I don't know if he took tires, but he's also brought it down as well. So a lot of damage on the 44, and like you said, I think the 2 and the 6 have put it into pit road. They're getting some repairs to their vehicular automobiles, but definitely going to be a costly error, and probably, or maybe a race-ending error, at least a race-ending error for Ryan Gemmel. Unfortunately, one of the best drivers here at Iowa Speedway, and unfortunately, he's going to be calling it a night as they push the 6 car into the garage, and that'll be it for Ryan Gemmel. And Ortega getting some damage fixed as well.
They're trying to get that thing to not crab walk, but when it's crab walking like that,
that's gonna be a hard task for that
15, 20 minutes of required. You're gonna have to sit down on pit road. He's probably gonna lose. Now he could pray for some cautions to keep these guys from lapping him too bad, but if they stay green, he's gonna go 30 laps down easily.
Yeah. Unfortunately there for Reggie Ortega. But that caution, though, helps the number 4 leaf filter gutter protection Chevrolet Camaro of Kevin Barrett. Was the lucky dog. And he has fresh tires, but now back on the lead lap ahead of those who were caught up in that incident. And like I said, the only car now, or that was a lap down, back on the lead lap, but multiple cars now either out of the race or it's going to be multiple laps down. So, yeah, like I said, the aggressiveness starts ramping up after we get the first run and the first caution. And then guys just starting to race hard here. And, yeah, just a part of it.
So the Simulators Anonymous 150 here at Iowa. We're going to take you to the highest place driver right now for Simulators Anonymous. That would be the 9, I believe, Jeremy Vincent.
Are they a part of? I thought they were last year. I think the highest running
would be Kevin McGarvey, if that's
Kevin McGarvey, I believe. Yeah, Kevin McGarvey, because I think Jeremiah Vincent, they're running their own operation and teamed up with the Sad Boys Racing. So yeah, I think Kevin McGarvey is your highest running Simulators Anonymous race car.
All right.
And behind him, Eric Lambert is right behind him. So shout out to the Simulators Anonymous group. Again, thank you for sponsoring this race. A big thank you from the BTDY sponsor for you guys sponsoring this race. Thank you to all our sponsors. And again, thank you to all our viewers still sticking around and tuning in here tonight for the watch the Simulators Anonymous 150 from the Iowa Speedway out here in Newton, Iowa. The Corn State, if you so will. Still, the sun's still shining bright here, but going down.
We got a lot of dust. Look at these machines, the paint, the metallics, the different spec maps on all these cars. Beautiful machines. I love the green on the front of that 36 VSPEED machine. It's beautiful to look at with the sun at the angle right now.
It really is. And those bright numbers definitely shine nice when the lights, especially when the lights will come on and they'll hit these race cars. As we go, pace truck, pulls off into pit lane. Green flag back out, and we're back underway in the Simulators Anonymous 150. Jeff Wright breaks away from the field, side by side for second, Keith Maiato, and David Shieldhouse racing off of turn number 2.
Coming down the back straight, this is a long one, a lot of cars pushing the wall here. We got the static cameras, as you can see. We got turns 3 and 4. And I actually have to manually click on each one of these, so unfortunately, we're trying to do it as best we can. Let's look at the drone camera again. This is the sweet shot right here.
Now that is a heck of a camera. Loving that camera shot that you can see side by side from second on back here. Baffert and Hutton going side by side. Unfortunately for that Canes Chevrolet Camaro. That car drifting back. He was in second when that last caution came out. Didn't have the greatest of pit stops, and now losing some track position here. Valuable track position, especially as we get later on into the night. Joshua Banks in that 35 Mac Tools Chevrolet Camaro. He's getting up there, and I'm also noticing the top 5, all Chevys.
All Camaros up here in the front, and it's actually pretty much all Chevys all the way back to 8th, 9th position. You've got a Super up there that I believe Bailey Turner is driving. Actually,
Chevy, yeah, Ben Bafford is in the only non-Chevy inside the top 10. So the bow tie fans, if you're watching, a lot of these drivers driving the bow tie up inside the top 10. Literally 9 of the top 10 are all Chevy Camaros. And these guys battling, definitely all of these guys on different teams. And look at the different lines being used. Hutton up on the outside. Bailey Turner, the white contact with Jeremiah Vincent. They save it. Here comes Bentley Glazer, who was also, might I point out, the fastest in practice. Had to start in the back, and he's worked his way all the way up into that. Then trouble in height of him. Bafford gets into Eric Hutton. Look at the stack up down the backstretch.
We're still 3 wide. I want to go back and hit the replay so bad that these guys still battle.
Oh, the door right here.
Middle. They're coming off of 4. Let's go back and look at the initial contact. About 30 seconds, I'd say, have went by since that happened. So let's go back and take a look at it.
Yeah, let's see here, get a quick replay, but it looked like Bafford just got into the back of Eric Hutton there. You can see a little contact from the 23, sets Bailey Turner up into the outside wall to avoid Bentley Glazer, who is just starting to get into that battle, just gets into Ben Bafford there. And now, right now, Bentley Glazer has passed Bafford, moved the 87 car up into 7th. What a great run for the rookie, Bentley Glazer. And I'll tell you, up inside the top 3, how about Joshua Banks, the Daytona winner this year, working on Keith Mayato in the number 36 car. Banks trying to get that 3rd spot away from Mayato, tries the slide job, not going to get it there. Mayato power, look at the momentum that outside line carries such a nice run. If you hit the line right, definitely can overpower that bottom lane if they don't get a good run off.
On board with Mayato right now, and we look at the right rear suspension setup. That outside line is prevailing, and it seems like the more this race progresses, we're having some different guys, like I was saying earlier, different guys getting up here into the top 5. So the 35 of Joshua Banks cracks up into the top 5. We've got Bentley Glazer that's moved up into the top 10. And then the guys that, like Eric Hutton, that were up in the top 3 have fallen back to 9th. Bailey Turner fallen down to 10th. The field is flip-flopping. I think it's going to get even better. Different names are going to get up here in this top 10 when the sun goes down.
And especially once we get the sun going down, I can see the lines changing again, where the bottom might become the most prevailed line. As you can see now, Eric Hutton gets by Ben Bafford. I think Bafford doing a little common courtesy after he got into the back of the 88, just letting the 88 go now, and he'll try to work him over and pass him cleanly here with Hutton up into 8th. Bafford back down to 9th. The battle in the mid-pack, you can see behind these guys raging on. Mikulski and is that Kyle McGarvey going at it in the 42 and the 10, and Yusuf Ghali having to work his way through traffic in the 54. He's moved up inside the top 20 once again. Behind him, Max Koss, Josiah Vincent. Then you got Cody Atkins.
Contact with the 81.
And a hurricane to the outside wall.
Just flipped over to Cody Atkins and caught that. That was, I saw that race happening.
McGarvey, Gilmore with a hard hit to the apron wall, or the inside wall. Kyle Payne caught up in it as well. And is that Jordan Brockle is in it as well?
Jordan Brockle, the whole front end ripped off that machine. We're going to go look at Cody Atkins because I saw this 3 wide happening as they went into 1 and 2. I knew that something was going to happen. Atkins just came down a little too low, I think, on the entry. Let's take a look at it.
Replay of that. Battling.
They're battling pretty hard. This is on the backstretch before 3 and 4, so it's not quite here yet. But I can see it happening. The 50 gets a good run on the inside, and I want to say they were almost 3 wide here at one point.
They were, and you can see a shallow line taken by the 50 there. Overcooks the corner, and Atkins coming down, and Lakatos was there in a hard hit. And then who was that clipped him? Was that Gilmore clipped him? And I think he came down, and oh, what an incident down there on the bottom with Kyle Payne, Robert Gilmore, and I think Brockle got damaged. I'm not sure where he got that from. I think he might have been, oh, there it was right there. He got into the wall.
Clipped, and I think Brock
By
actually
Barrett.
wrecked on his own. I don't
He
think
did. I
Brock
think he
was
got
even
clipped by
part of it.
Kevin Barrett. I think Kevin Barrett clipped him here. And now up at the front, mixed strategies. Everybody bringing it down pit road except the 9 of Jeremiah Vincent. He'll stay out and lead laps, and it'll end the streak of pit stops here. And a lot of guys taking 2. David Shieldhouse gets out of pit road first, beats Keith Mayato, and also beats Joshua Banks, Seth Hatchell, Stravato, Glazer, and that's as well as Eric Hutton. And it looks like Jeff Wright did not have the pit stop he was looking for.
Jeff Wright.
Oh, he's definitely still in pit road.
He got a speeding penalty
He got
possibly on the entrance.
speeding. He did. The dominant car of the day.
Tough break. I mean, it's
Wow.
it's really easy to do here. Pit road speed is so slow here at Iowa. Yeah, the 48's going to drop back to the 28th position according to timing and scoring right now. But once we get it all sorted out, he's going to get probably a penalty here. I don't know if that was just a hold or if
No,
he
that
gets
that
the
was
DOL
he's gonna
as
go to
well.
the back. He's going to the back there. I want to give a shout out. I'm a sucker for good paint schemes. How about Dennis Faircloth? He's got a nice paint scheme, bright
Oh,
yellow.
He's always got a sharp paint scheme.
He's always
Just
got a
like
nice
paint
paint scheme.
machine.
Simulators Anonymous on the hood there. Nice looking paint scheme. And that 80 car got Geico on it as well. Bright 80 here. I think he's running back at 27th right now. He's got a little front end damage, but definitely a nice looking paint scheme. I think he said he just made it for this race, and I'll tell
I
you.
was informed that that is actually a copywritten yellow that he has on that.
Is
He
it?
has a copyright on that yellow, yeah.
I'll
He's
tell
got
you.
a special
Nice.
code and no one knows it.
I don't know what it is either, but it's beautiful. And you know what kind of reminds me of the Menards color, that Menards yellow. It's a little bit brighter than that, I would
Very
say.
poppy yellow. It stands out. You can pretty much tell where he is on the track at all times. Very sharp machine. Simulators
Yeah.
Anonymous. Shout out to that guy as well. It taught a lot of people. He's taught me personally how to paint some of these spec maps and learned a lot from this guy. Saved me a ton of time. So shout out to him.
Definitely one of the best paint designers in the league for sure. As Jeff Wright has brought it back down to pit road. Adam Baker, a lot more damage on that 44. Big damage on the back end of that 44 car as well, running in the 30th position. A lot of these guys getting damage, I'm noticing. So see what happens. The Jack comes up. He'll take 4 tires and fill it up with fuel. And a little developing story, a split strategy, if you so will. The 9, Jeremiah Vincent, leading this race, stayed out on pit road. He's going to have 20 laps on his tires. This is where we're going to tell how big the tire fall off is. And we'll really tell how easy is it to pass. If it's easy to get by Jeremiah Vincent, then we know tires will obviously overrule the setup here. But if if Jeremiah Vincent makes it tough on David Shieldhouse, I could definitely see, a lot of guys later in this race. If it comes down to cautions, could see some guys staying out. I think a lot of guys are going to be watching for this and how the 9's progress is here for this next run.
Yeah, I think using him as kind of an idea, like a pick, if you will,
Exactly.
how this is going to work out. In my experience here at Iowa, 20 laps is a lot. That's a lot of
A lot of
time.
laps on these tires.
Yeah, I would look to see Jeremiah try to get to the outside very soon, as soon as
That's
possible.
going to be the best way to hold ground. There's no way the bottom's going to be able to. He's got to get a nice jump here, and we're going to see if he is, off. Well, if he's
I
off
don't know.
pace here, he's going to be in trouble here. But we're going to find out here as we get restart here. See here, pace truck pulls back off. Jeremiah Vincent, 20 laps on his tires. He'll get going on the Geico restart zone. Green flag back out in the air. Back underway from the Iowa Speedway, side by side into turn 1. Shieldhouse, fresh tires on the outside. Joshua Banks up on the outside as well. Looks like Vincent just doesn't have the grip yet. Able to hold second, but move the 20 car up to the lead. Shieldhouse takes the lead in the 3, but now he's got pressure from the 35 of Joshua Banks.
Joshua Banks moving up through this field quick, and he used the 9 car down on the bottom to
Oh, look
pick
at that
off, and now
run!
he's going for the lead down to the bottom of 1 and 2 inside of Shieldhouse. Battle for the lead right now. 35 down at the very bottom in
Oh, look at that
contact.
turn!
Brushes the 20, and the 20 is going to break away now.
A little contact there, no harm, no foul. Composite body shaping in here. As you can see, side by side for up for 5th, side by side, still for the lead. Loose on the bottom is the 35. He'll tuck back in line. And now that moves, looks like AJ Stravato up into third. The Italian Stallion getting up there as well. Seth Hatchell moves into fourth. Keith Maiato into fifth, and the Bentley Glazer, Ben Baffert side by side. Now Baffert takes him 3 wide into turn number 3.
For the bottom here, 3 wide, the 87 on the outside, 9 in the middle. I think these guys are going to work it out okay. And there was a little bit of contact there as they made that move. But Baffert able to get through it. I think he might clear the 9 events. It should be easy pickings here. 20 laps. It's just really tough. Really close
I
on
know
that
Jeremiah
slide
Vincent's
job.
going to like that.
Really close on that slide job, but I tell you, man, Vincent, he's gonna have to keep it up there on that outside and hold these guys off as long as he can.
He's holding up better than I thought, I will say that, but I'll tell you, this battle for the lead up in front is starting to heat up. Banks starting to pressure this 20 car, has so much more drive in the center, and look at on board that number 35, getting a lot closer, look at peeking down to the inside. Let's see what's on the hood there. I believe that is AB Motorsports. I'm not sure what that is, but one of his sponsors for sure. But I know he's a big man of Mac Tools, and that's on that side, that right side of Joshua Banks. Got a little bit of right front damage. I'm not sure if that came from the contact with David Shieldhouse, but you can see on board with the 35 of Joshua Banks, hounding the 20 of David Shieldhouse. Behind them, the Battle Business picking up for the 5th position. Bentley Glazer in that 87. Let me tell you, he has shown some amazing speed. Starting all the way in the back, was able to work his way through the field, and now battling for a top 5. I think the 87 might be one of the fastest cars in the field.
Definitely a sleeper. I mean, we didn't talk about him at the start. We mentioned that he had to go to the back of the field, but we weren't looking at the 87 as a pick here. The speed he's showing, he's got a top 3 machine.
And I'll tell you, he had a great run at Homestead. He won the Clash and started his season off with a bang there, won the Clash, had some trouble at Daytona, and then had a great run, backed it up with the top 10 at Homestead, Miami. And now you can see battle between the 54 and the 9. Yusuf Ghali gets by Jeremiah Vincent. Again, Vincent on old tires. He's holding on better than I thought he would. But right now, those tires are really going to start coming into effect as Ghali goes down to his inside and battle up inside the top 5. AJ Stravato, Seth Hatchell going at it here. The 33 falling back to the clutches of the 8.
This is more of the same names we were talking about at the Roval, and you're seeing it here. The 23, the 8, the 33, the 36, the 20. The only name that's wasn't up in this mix really was Joshua Banks, and he's showing some speed here tonight. Riding right there, hanging with Shieldhouse, only about a 1/10 of a second off of him right now, and they're pulling away a little bit from 3rd place driver AJ Stravato.
They really are, and give updates on Jeff Wright, who had a speeding penalty, who's led the most laps in this race so far. He's worked his way up inside the top 20s, up into 18, but look at the gaggle of cars he's in traffic. Bailey Turner, looks like he's got some right side damage. He's also back here running in the 17th position. You can see Alan Dice, Jeff Wright blinking there a little bit, but right underneath Bailey Turner. And you can see Noah Mikulski gets into the back of Bailey Turner there. And a little more contact with Dice, and I believe that's Josiah Vincent. Wright goes up into 17th. Chris Samard also back here, here in this middle of the pack. Eric Lambert in the 19 getting under him. Kyle McGarvey having a quiet, solid day inside the top 15. How about Nick Starling in the 7? He's running in the 13th position.
Starling having a really quiet night, and I think that's kind of what you want to do. Start at 19th, up towards the top 10. That's another sharp-looking machine right there. Purple and yellow, kind of a lime yellow. I like it.
A lot of neon numbers here. And I'm telling you, I'm not hating on the neon numbers. I love neon numbers. They look really good on some race cars, especially on dark race cars.
Obnoxious colors you can put on it. I love it.
Absolutely. Heck, man, I don't know if you saw Stuart Friesen's truck a few weeks ago. That car was shining bright, or that truck was shining bright. Had a tie-dye finish on it. Looked pretty nice. You can see Lambert and Samard making some contact.
Almost 3 wide there, and we've got the Jeff Wright there on the bottom of it. He's trying to get around these guys as quick as he can. He knows that if he doesn't get up there before these next round of pit stops, that maybe there's no chance that he can get back into the top 10. It's going to be tough as the tires wear on.
He has a really, really good race car, and like I said, he's led, I think, over 50 laps. So definitely, I think, one of the fastest cars. He's just got to be careful. You can see all the traffic that's ahead of him. Oh, there's
contact! Right as you said that, the 77 down to the inside. Hard hit, no yellow there. Chris Zimmer,
and that
front end
is not what
completely
you want to
gone.
see. It's not what you want to see if you're Jeff Wright. Got some damage on the front end of that race car, and a ton of damage on the 36 of Chris, or sorry, the 77 of Chris Samar. That is unfortunate, and a hard hit to that inside wall. You can see right there, contact with Jeff Wright. Definitely something you got to be careful for, and especially getting so loose off of these corners. And man, unfortunate for both of them. Oh, what an incident there, right there. Hard hit to the inside wall. It's going to probably be into the race damage there for the 77. And looking here, look at this mid-pack. This mid-pack absolutely insane behind Starling. You got Lambert battling McGarvey. You got Dice in the mix. Casey Lakatis in that 50-cent TV machine. He has worked his way inside the 17.
He had he had worked his way up to about the 16th position, and that little contact, he's back to 20th now. So you just said it. He's got to be careful. He came off in turn 2, and that happened. It was just the curse of the camera. I tell you, we have a lot of commentator curses here, and hasn't seemed to hinder the progress of the 48. Still got some speed in it. Definitely got a little bit of damage, and it might matter as we get later on into the night here. But like you said, stuck in deep traffic. He's got to be very careful. As you can see, Josiah Vincent cuts up in front of him, fake slow, back high here. He's got to make sure he doesn't make any more contact. And as we get later into this race, the nighttime, it's going to be harder to pass here. So he's got to get a lot more. He's got to get some track position here. And right now, you can see these guys are battling for it right here in the mid pack. And David Shieldhouse, man, he's opened up to a half a second lead over Joshua Banks in the 35. Banks, you know, I'll tell you, he's a big fan of the short tracks, and right now it's showing. Running up in the second position, he's got a little bit of damage, but running down to that bottom lane, something you could not see everybody doing. Everybody usually running that top, maybe saving some right front tire, but it's kind of allowed the 33 of AJ Stravato to kind of close in on this battle. And then the VSPEED teammates going at it between Keith Mayato and Seth Hatchell. You can see the 33 of Stravato has caught up to Joshua Banks. They've been navigating this lap traffic. That's kind of helped Stravato edge up to the 35. As this run's progressed, you've seen some of the guys that were started up in the top 10 that fell back. They've rebounded. Stravato, Satchel, Baffert rebounded big time. He was outside the top 10 at one point, so he's up in 6th position. Hutton, he's kind of, I don't know. He was up in 2nd. He's not fallen out of the top 10. I wouldn't count him out at all.
He's got a top 5 race car. I feel like he's just kind of getting mired back in traffic. He's got to keep the track position. I think we're starting to see here as the sun is setting and these lights are going to start coming on that this it's going to be a lot harder to pass, and we're seeing it right here. We've kind of had this gaggle of cars ever since we had Stravato, Hatchell, and Mayato. Those guys kind of stuck behind each other until we get back here. This is where all the racing's at, really. The side-by-side racing, I should say. These guys all over the racetrack. You see Jeff Wright, who, like we said, has led the most laps as of now. Been having to carve his way through the field here. He's going to get by Casey Lakatis, and now he's going to poke down to the inside underneath Alan Dice in the Affinity 4 Gaming Chevrolet Camaro. And that moves Jeff Wright up into 16th. They're trying to get inside the top 15. As you can see, Dice getting a big run here on the outside. And that outside, so viable to get a massive run, carry momentum. But Wright doing a good job pinning Dice behind the lap car there. And Wright should take the position. And I think Jeff Wright still has the pace. He definitely has the car. It's just he might need a caution to maybe have that pit crew give him one good stop here and get some track position. And Ben Baffert really starting to fall back here, side by side with Eric Hutton. Now back single file. Hutton starting to pressure that 23 car, and it looks like AJ Stravato has gotten by Joshua Banks for the 2nd position. Move the Italian Stallion up into 2nd. Banks back down to 3rd.
Joshua Banks, we've seen the speed earlier. He was hanging with Shieldhouse, but maybe used up some of those tires and trying to keep pace with Shieldhouse. Stravato able to move up into 2nd position. Seth Hatchell now in this battle. He's looking at the top 3. Stravato, Banks, Satchel, Mayato. I think these guys right here, if they get to racing too much side by side, that's going to benefit this guy. He's been pulling away about a second now, 1.1 at times for the 20 of Shieldhouse as he takes the Heartbeat Hot Sauce machine to lead about 25 laps so far.
Yeah, doing a great job here tonight. David definitely solidifying himself as a championship favorite, if not the favorite, like I said earlier today. Just such a such a strong car these last few weeks. I know he didn't show up for Daytona, but man, as soon as he's right out of the gate at Homestead, I think he got started second and won the race on strategy and really had, I think, the best car maybe other than Baffert, but Baffert kind of fumbled the bag, as they say. And then we saw it last week at the Roval, had a great battle again with Ben Baffert, and was able to get third here. But like we said, David Shieldhouse, man, he definitely showing a lot of speed here, and just got a camera on Ben Baffert up in the 6th position, Bentley Glazer in 8th, Eric Hutt in 7th. We're kind of getting more spread out throughout the field. Obviously, the mid-pack battle still going on. Jeff Wright working his way up through the field side by side with Kyle McGarver, but I'm starting to see as this night, we're starting to fall into the nighttime. You're going to have to just get up to that outside right now. It looks like it's just so hard to pass on that bottom.
Well, update on the 9 car, Jeremiah Vincent. He went stagnant in the top 10, so good news for him with those older tires. We're talking about 54 laps on this stint, and probably about 50 of them under green, versus the rest of the field that has about 29 laps on their tires. So
yeah,
that's
and
a big difference.
And the longest run that I think we had was 37 laps, if I'm not mistaken. So right now, Jeremiah has pushed it farther than the first run. The question is, when does he bring it down? What have we got? We've got 80 laps to go now in this race. Man, this race can flow by quick. 80 laps to go here in this race. So not a lot of time to really work your way, if we get a green flag, run all the way to the end. Is there a way that he could maybe jump some guys and maybe get himself a top 5 or maybe even compete for a win? But we know tire fall off is so big, but it isn't as big as I thought it was. He's still able to hang inside the top 10 here.
I think if you split, maybe short pit a little bit, this probably could play in his favor. If it stays green, though. If we have a caution at any point after he pits, the run's done. I mean, it's going to be tough to rebound from that.
Yeah, he's got to make sure if he does pit, he's got to come out with some clean track. Most likely, if you pit, you're going to go like 2 laps down, and then if a caution comes out, you're pretty much done for at least. You can get one of those back on a waiver round, but other than that, you're in trouble there. So we know some guys like to stay out late, and if they do get a caution, they're not afraid to trap guys laps down. So it's going to be interesting to see here as we're on board with Jeff right there. Almost gets into the back of Eric Lambert. He's slowly but surely working his way through the field, right, finally up inside the top 15 after that speeding penalty. Eric Lambert kind of sliding around that back end. Dallas Sullivan got loose not too long ago. We had a nice slide. That right rear, probably not too happy with him here. And like I said, getting more spread out here. Travato was about a 10 faster than David Shieldhouse the last lap, but hasn't made up too much time. This last lap we'll see right here, about even with the 20 here. And Joshua Banks right behind AJ Travato, I should say, starting to fall to the clutches of Seth Hatchell and Keith Mayato, and you can see right now Baffert's starting to close up into the mix as well. Eric Hutt and Bentley Glazer as well closing in, and we're starting to see the lights come on here. You'll start to see these lights start to come on. We'll be under nightfall probably by the end of this race here.
You're going to see the vibrant colors, the metallics in different angles. It's nice transitions. Some chameleon paints are out here. They've been blending in with the race surface, but that metallic silver on that 35 really going to sparkle when the lights come on.
Absolutely, yeah. Loving some of these paint schemes under the nighttime skies. You can see, I'm surprised Banks hasn't really moved up. He's been pretty loyal to that inside lane. He hasn't really gotten a ton. He hasn't lost ground, and he hasn't gained ground either. He's kind of stabilized his position here. Is he saving his tires is the question. Remember, how long are these guys willing to push it? 75 laps to go in this race, well past halfway. Do we start seeing maybe some guys? I think the first guy we're obviously going to see come down to pit road is probably going to be the 9 car, Jeremiah Vincent. He's definitely been struggling on those older tires. So the question is, when does he want to pit? And he'll definitely be the first guy that probably brings it down pit road. But then we get into the fact of when will these leaders try to pit?
Oh, I just saw a pass here. We got Wright moving up another spot. He gets around Lambert, now working on Nick Starling. And what you were talking about with Joshua Banks running that lower line, we're just riding on board with him just a second ago. He's running a lot lower entry into 1. Now he's gonna come down below that white line before anybody else and ride the yellow all the way through.
Trouble on the front stretch. Dallas Sullivan is around, and he's gonna slam the inside wall. Does he bring it up the track? No. No caution, out of harm's way. You can see he's on the paved apron down there. And it doesn't look like a caution's going to come out.
He comes off a turn 4,
Oh, he got
rides
the
the
wall right
outside
there.
wall, and it just jumped right up on it. He caught the tire all over the wall
Oh.
and just couldn't snap it back to the right.
Got a lot of suspension damage on that
Momentum
46.
and weight going to that inside wall. That's definitely going to break the front end.
Yeah, definitely got some suspension damage. Crab walking there. As we'll go to a live shot, he is now entering pit road. Luckily, no caution. I think David Shieldhouse, thankful no caution. But AJ Stravado slowly but surely reeling in that gap. Hasn't gotten too much, but he's gotten a little bit. Oh my goodness, lap traffic. Cody Atkins almost caused AJ Stravado to get into him there, and that's going to cost Stravado a little bit of time.
Stravado got him right on the exit of 2, and that's, you know, sometimes what you have to do. You got to kind of gauge where that car is going to be, but the 81's got a ton of damage, and sometimes it gets a little tough to gauge where that guy's going to come out and what speed.
And how about a shout out to the guy running in 10th, Jordan Shepler, having himself a great night inside the top 10. Not sure where he started, if we want to take a look at that. Started 22nd. How about that? Up 12 positions and gain of 12 positions. As Jeff Wright, oh my goodness, Jeremiah Vincent really loosened those tires. Old tires really starting to really starting to come in there, and he's slipping, sliding around. I think we're going to see him probably bring it in here pretty soon within the next 5 or 10 laps.
Yeah, he's got a lot of traffic around him. He can't afford to be getting loose. He could end up ending his day. There's not a lot of room to save right now. He's going to have to bring it down pit road probably within the next 5 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this top 10 is kind of stabilized here, and this mid-pack battling is wild here. You got Vincent, Starling, Lambert, Dice, McGarvey, the McGarvey brothers in this gaggle of cars, and then you got Mikulski, and then Jeff Wright looking underneath Jordan Shepler here for the 10th position. Max Cost did bring it down pit road in the Reese's Pieces 63 Ford Mustang. He's came in, and now it looks like Jeremiah Vincent is also going to bring it in. And let me tell you, this is one of the toughest pit roads to get in. It's so weird. The angle into the pit road is very odd. If you miss time your braking, you will easily miss pit road. And let me tell you, it is a long trip back around here. So we'll see what happens.
I want to go back just 15 seconds. You said the entrance to pit road is a weird angle.
Yeah.
Look at the caution cone, the angle that was at just
Yeah.
now. That's a weird angle. It's all deceitful.
It is. It is. It really does trick you here. This pit road, like I said, one of the most toughest pit roads to get on. And Kyle McGarvey bringing it in as well. So does that force the hand of anybody up inside the top 10 to maybe pit? And David Shieldhouse is running into lap traffic, so maybe perfect time for guys to start pouncing on maybe short pitting here. We know Shieldhouse, he is working now. He's going to be running up on Kyle Payne, Zach Smith, Mark McFadden just got put a lap down. So Shieldhouse running into lap traffic here. That should allow Stravado to maybe catch in. But we know tires so valuable here, and we'll see the difference here. Jeremiah Vincent just got back out onto the racetrack, and we'll just see how much grip he has here. We'll probably see him blow by the 20 here. Your leader, David Shieldhouse here. I think Dennis Faircloth, I think, also brought it in pit road as well. So much more grip after 50 laps on the tires.
Got another battle here. Kevin McGarvey, Alan Dice, 7 of Nick Starling. That Lambert's in the middle of it. The double zero. Oh boy. I think we got some fresher tires maybe starting to play a effect here.
Catch in here. I think this mid-pack guys are definitely starting to pit here. I think they're getting to the feeling that we might be going green to the end here. You can see Starling nice pitting here. Oh my goodness. Barely gets it in pit road. See up at the front here, Jeremiah Vincent blowing by drivers here with those new tires.
Transition here for the 9 car. He's got faster tires than everybody else, but it's not going to be by much. I mean, he brought it down pit road maybe 5 or 6 laps sooner than the rest of these guys, so I think it's going to even out. I'm not sure if they have limited tire sets.
I think they do, yeah. I think there's 6 tires sitting in the pits. They've already got 3 sets on them, so there's probably 3 sets laying in the pits right now, and tell you what,
the 9 car will have an extra set then, if that's the case.
He will. He does, yeah.
That is an advantage as well. So that's
he doesn't want this caution to come out now, though. That's for sure.
No, he would probably be happy with the caution, maybe with 30 to go.
Yeah,
where everything's settled back out.
My auto side by side with Santacho for the 4th position, first battle inside the top 5 in probably 20 laps. Ben Baffert closed in. It seems like Joshua Banks is starting to hold these guys up a little bit. And you can see, oh, Seth Hatchell bringing it in pit road.
Hatchell makes pit road. I did not predict that happening with the speed he was carrying to the inside, but he makes it down there just fine. Nicely done. He's probably one of the fastest guys we've seen take the entrance next to Alan Dice, who
Oh, yeah.
that was sketchy. The
I
way
think
the 5K
seeing
went.
Hatchell pit, that's definitely going to bring a lot of these guys in, probably. Might bring Baffert, might bring, you know, Mayato. One of those guys might come in.
You see the 19 of Lambert, who has pitted. He's getting around these guys, working past your third-place driver, Joshua Banks. The 35, kind of pinned up there on the outside. The 00, McGarvey is going by him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this field's going to cycle through.
It is, and this is a scary time, especially if you're on the lead lap. You got guys coming out with fresher tires and so much more grip, and you're trying to battle for position. Sometimes we see incidents at these times of the race when you got pit cycles going on. You got different battles going on the racetrack. As you can see, this one's starting to shape up to be a good one. Keith Mayato and Joshua Banks going at it. Ben Baffert, Eric Hutton closing in as well. Mayato seemed like he saved his tires pretty good. He's starting to have the grip in that number 36 VSPEED Camaro. But looking at these guys here, you got the fresh tires closing up. You got a lot of different factors playing in here. And sometimes I've seen it before where we have incidents happen. And then you never know who it takes out. It could be you know, one of the faster guys here. And I'll tell you, I feel bad for AJ Servato. He's just gotten the lap cars at the wrong spots all today. He's been gaining time, then he loses it, and then he gains it again. Just all how the lap cars kind of cycle out here.
2 laps down, we check in with our guy, V-Speed driver Adam Baker. 2 laps down to 23rd position. Has not recovered from that contact early in this race. A lot of damage still in the back of that machine, but it looks like it's back to somewhat drivable condition compared to what it was when he first got that hit with the, I believe it was the 84 car.
It was, yeah.
So,
And Bentley Glazer has brought it down to pit road. One of the other first people to drive it down inside the top 10. Looks like Ben Baffert, Keith Mayato going at it. Mayato's going to lose the spot to Baffert. Move Baffert up into the 4th position. Now he'll set his eyes on Joshua Banks in that 35.
I see Mayato coming down pit road. If he let that guy by like that, I'd see him trying to get to the bottom and probably bring it down into the pits here soon.
Yeah, I can see that. No, Banks like catch the wall there. Now that moves Baffert down to the inside. Ooh, man, Banks is running up tight. They're going to make contact. And Mayato, like you said, bringing it down pit road, side by side. Ooh, Banks not happy with that.
Go back and take a quick look at that.
Well, I'd keep the camera on these boys right now.
All right, we're going back. We're going to go back it up. They just had contact. Just had contact, moved him out of the way. Now we'll go back and look at this whole battle.
Yeah,
and
you
here they
can
are
see.
side by side. And Banks just down
He
to the
hit
door.
him
A lot
hard
of
right
contact.
there. Wow,
Wow.
that's a lot of contact there. That trouble was brewing for a little bit there. We saw in 3 and 4 those guys making a little contact. Banks swerved down the straightaway to let him know he wasn't a fan. And then Baffert came back down the racetrack and made a little more, or came up the racetrack a little bit, and Banks came down and moved Banks up the racetrack. I would assume Banks probably bringing it into pit road here to the service of his crew. Mayato exiting pit road. Banks coming into pit road. The question is, does this force the hand of the guys, you know, the leader, David Schildhouse, the 33 of Stravato, the 23 of Baffert, maybe even Hutton and Yusuf Ghali? Do these guys maybe try to bring it in pretty soon?
Yeah, I think the 20 is going to have to. Within the next 2 laps, he has to. He's got a second lead over Stravato, but the longer these guys stay out, the more time those fresh tires have to catch back up to them. And then when they do pit, they
I
cycle
think
back.
they'll be
they're
the
10
guys
seconds
catching
off.
is the question, though. So we'll see. I'd be more worried with a guy like Mayato or Hatchell on fresh tires right now. You know, those guys are fast. They were running inside the top 10. I mean, let's just take for instance, right now, Seth Hatchell's last lap was 1 second faster than David Schildhouse. So if Schildhouse, you know, stays out, if we're averaging out here, Hatchell's gained 10 seconds on Schildhouse just right now over the last few laps. So, you know, how is he going to cycle out once everybody pits? That's a good question. We don't know. But, you know, the one thing I think everybody's hoping for is no caution now.
Yeah, after this all cycles out. But Jeremiah Vincent, with that extra set of tires, he's in the right place. After the top,
Eric Hutton.
these top 7 hit, it would probably be beneficial to the 9 with that extra set of tires to come down pit road one last time.
Eric Hutton just brought it into pit road. Jeff Wright staying out right, moved up to 4th so far, but we'll see once it cycles out where he moves up to. Baffert in heavy traffic here with lappers. You know, like we said, when does Shieldhouse or Stravato try to bring it in? Shieldhouse a 2.5 lead over AJ Stravato in the 33.
Well, Scheffler's
Oh,
got
these
fresher
guys-
tires. He's getting to navigate around the 99 machine right now of Mark McFadden. And I tell you what, at 13, I don't know. I think he's got a top 10 here tonight, the way he's been running. And the recovery by Jeff Wright up into the top 5 here just before they hit pit road. Excellent drive for this 48. I can't believe he came back from where he did.
And we saw him, Bentley Glazer, he and Bentley Glazer were able to go up through the field and kind of get their positions back. I know it's been a tough sledding ever since that pit stop, you know, that speeding penalty and a bad pit stop for Jeff Wright. So, yeah, he got a little damage from Chris Samard, but so far making a good recovery. And looking at it here, what are we going to have? 45 laps, coming up on 45 laps to go. When does David Shieldhouse or even AJ Stravato try to bring it in here?
Maybe these guys are praying for a caution up here in this top 5.
I think with how tire fall off has been, you know, maybe it won't matter too much. We'll see if these guys staying out the longer route here. We'll see how this shapes up. I think as soon as you maybe see Baffert pit, I think that'll probably force the hand of Stravato and Shieldhouse. Other than that, I mean, right now Shieldhouse is just setting a blistering pace. He's so far ahead of AJ Stravato, and you can see he's got 3-4 lap cars in the middle of him. So, yeah.
I mean, if you can stretch this stint, the shortest lap tires right now is on the 88 of Eric Hutton with 3.
Yep.
Casey Lakatos is back out there in 7th. His
I think
stint's not
Lakatos is
showing.
bringing it in right now.
Okay, so I would say there's probably
Oh,
a
Shieldhouse
chance
bringing it in.
here. Shieldhouse bringing it in.
And yeah, it's Stravato also just brought it in. So Shieldhouse bringing it in right now. Oh, he's shallow. Oh my gosh. Nice. Oh man, that was a lot of speed there. It looked like he was going to spin. Looked like he might have missed pit road almost, but able to get it going. So Shieldhouse will finally bring it to the attention of the 20 Heartbeat Hot Sauce crew. AJ Stravato just exiting pit road. And now Ben Baffert getting his service. He just exits pit road. So we'll see David Shieldhouse bring it into his box. Let's see where these guys cycle out.
Coming off pit road, Baffert's going to be at about the 12th position here. We've got the 20. He's going to be back in probably around the 10th position, I'd say, after this all cycles
Yeah.
out.
A good stop for Shieldhouse. He'll leave the pits. He'll lose a spot to Banks. See where Stravato rounding the corner. I don't know if he's going to get there. I don't even think Eric Hutton's going to get there. So Shieldhouse retains the lead over AJ Stravato. Stravato a 14.5 second pit stop. Shieldhouse a 14.7. But Shieldhouse maintaining the gap as Eric Hutton taps the wall.
He just barely clipped it there, but I tell you what, after this all cycles out, we've still got about 4 guys or two guys that are definitely not pitted. Yeah, so Jeff Wright and Bailey Turner have not come down pit road, and Jeff Wright back to the lead. This guy is definitely praying for a caution.
Yeah.
If he gets a yellow, it's going to be awesome for him.
Oh, yeah, and everything cycles out right now. Oh, and like you said, if a caution does come out, Jeff Wright will be the leader because I think everybody's going to probably bring it in, and maybe not Shieldhouse or Baffert or Stravato. But right now, Wright praying for a caution because he's going to fall back a little bit, but he'll avoid fresher tires than everybody. 40 laps to go here in the Simulators Anonymous 150. And once everything cycles out, Seth Hatchell will be the leader.
Seth Hatchell on and off pit road did an excellent job. A little bit of a shorter pit than everybody else. He's got 20 laps on this stint compared to 14-16. David Shieldhouse, the shortest up here in the top 10 with 3 laps on his stint. I'd look to see Shieldhouse start making up some time, though. Big gap,
He's
though.
a second
Big
faster
gap.
than him. Second faster than that last lap. He's about 6 seconds behind Seth Hatchell, so should get there in no time.
Yep, we're looking at the stint right now to the leader, and it's 16 seconds to Jeff Wright. Bailey Turner about 4 seconds back, and then Seth Hatchell 10.5 back. It's, Hatchell's going to be the leader after this all cycles out. You know that Bailey and Wright have to come down pit road. There's just no way around it.
The next 10 laps, probably. We'll see Stravato just got by Eric Hutton here for the 8th position. And nice slide job from AJ Stravato. Moves Stravato up into 7th, or sorry, into 8th. He'll set his eyes and focus onto the 35 of Joshua Banks. Baffert pitted on the same lap as AJ Stravato. He's fallen back down to 10th, but again, remember this cycle is still not complete. Jeff Wright hoping for a caution. Same with Bailey Turner. Anything to turn those two races around. There goes Stravato by the 35 of Joshua Banks, and hearing on the radio of the 48, Jeff Wright bringing it down pit road, as well as Bailey Turner in the 24. That should cycle the 8 of Seth Hatchell to the lead.
We got a little confusion there on the numbers. Some of these guys are running custom number schemes, and no, you're good. I just, the cameras sometimes don't label them right. So I got the 48 and Jeff Wright coming down pit road now. 24 probably coming down, following suit. So these guys going to cycle through. I'm not sure where the 48 is going to come out, because he had been caught up pretty good by Seth Hatchell. I see the 48 probably dropping.
He'll go
out of
lap
the top
down.
10.
He'll definitely drop out of the top 10, maybe outside the top 20. But he's going to have so many fresh. He's going to have like 30 lap fresh tires, and the guy he's going to be racing.
Yep. The 48 definitely needed a caution here to recover from staying out that long.
Yeah, that'll move Hatchell up into the lead, but man, I'll tell you, David Shieldhouse, a blistering pace, gets by Bentley Glazer, and now sets his eyes on Keith Maiato, and then 2.5 seconds up the road to Seth Hatchell. Right now, just a good pace, a good-looking race car, and that car is fast, let me tell you. As you can see, AJ Stravato slowly running him down, but you know what? He needs Shieldhouse to get caught up in some more traffic. I think that's really going to be his only shot here, and he's got 1 lap older tires, so we'll see if it's possible. Look at the guys ahead of him running side by side, Baker and Wright.
Yeah, Jeff Wright, he's got fresher tires, so it's not so much that Shieldhouse needs to worry about the 48 right now, but getting around some of these lap cars, Keith Maiato navigating it pretty well. Here we go. We got about less than 0.2 of a second now. The 20 car, Shieldhouse going to look to the outside right now, coming down the backstretch. He's going to get right to the bumper on the exit of 4.
Oh, Adam Baker up on the outside wall here, trying to stay out of Stravato's way, and there goes Shieldhouse down to the bottom, and underneath Keith Maiato. But don't look now, that 33 is getting closer and closer. That Waste Management Chevy Camaro, he's getting closer, but he just needs Shieldhouse to make a mistake. And I'll tell you, Shieldhouse hasn't made many this season, so it's going to be hard for Stravato. And man, I think we might have Shieldhouse cruising to his 2nd victory of the season. And you know, unless we get a caution here, more than possible here. Still 30 cars up on the racetrack here.
A few guys going a lap down. We got Dennis Faircloth just went down a lap. He's in the 21st position. Jeff Wright gets his lap back, gets back up in the 20th spot. Wright's probably on pace with the amount of time we have left to maybe get back close to the top 10. It'll be close.
It'll be very close, yes. And Shieldhouse gets by the lap machine of Faircloth. 33 of Stravato gets by Keith Maiato in the 36.
He's there now. It's Hatchell's going to have to just hold on.
Yeah, and I don't know if Hatchell's going to really fight David Shieldhouse. He's got way older tires, 15 laps, actually 16 laps older tires than David Shieldhouse in the 20 cars. So I think we'll see the 20 probably blow by the 8 here. And then if Hatchell can hold up Shieldhouse, can the 33 of Stravato maybe try to hound that 20 car? He's got to make up the gap. He's got a 2nd gap behind David Shieldhouse here.
A lot of time to make up and not a lot of time left to do it. As you see the 8 car getting past right now for the lead as they exit turn 2. Shieldhouse down to the bottom. He's going to make quick work of this. And I mean, kudos to Seth Hatchell. Great pit stop. He got down pit road. Probably the fastest car into pit road. It was amazingly done. But
Stravato got the wall.
Stravato just clips it coming off of 4, and that's that safer barrier we were talking about. Very deceitful in that front straightaway, but I think the tire difference is just, it's not going to matter. Yeah. This is going to help Stravato maybe a little bit of damage on the 20 for Shieldhouse. That might help the 33 catch up.
Shieldhouse did catch the wall. Stravato caught the wall there off of turn 4. So, okay. Yeah, that might hinder his progress on catching the 20. Again, 9/10 of a second behind Shieldhouse, and Shieldhouse got 1 car ahead of him, at least in the fight here. And Hatchell's probably not going to hold up Stravato much. So once he gets by, it's up to, you can see Hatchell laying over here. He's going to give the spot to Stravato. Stravato will go to the outside here. And now Stravato's got 1, He's got one objective. He's got to catch that 20. It's one thing to catch, another thing to pass, but Shieldhouse a second lead over the 33 of AJ Stravado. Lap traffic is still going to be a factor, and I'll tell you, see once we get up here a little bit here, with the pace that Shieldhouse is setting, at the end of this race, he'll probably catch the gaggle of cars that are ahead of him, which, you know, will be the 1, the 4, the 3, the 10, the 00. He might run up into that pack. I'm not sure. They're about a straightaway ahead of him, and he might still be able to run down. And let me tell you, the gaggle of cars, it's like 8 or 9 cars, and that will be probably Stravado's best shot at maybe pouncing on the opportunity here.
Let's check in with your highest driver in the race right now. Driving for Simulators Anonymous, it'd be the 13th position driver of Eric Lambert. And right now he's having a quiet night. He's got another driver behind him, Kyle McGarvey. That would be the Secretary Magic Machine 42. And I tell you what, these Sim Anon guys, great dudes to hang out with. We appreciate the sponsorship here for tonight's race at Iowa. And shout out to Eric Lambert running in 13th. Alan Dyson, I'm talking about familiar names. There's another sponsor, Affinity for Gaming. The 5-car of Dice in the top 10. A few different drivers out here repping the sponsors for this league. And then I've yet to see a Martin sports car. I would like to find that. That presents the entire league. What is it?
I thought there was. I got to find it, though. I'm not sure where it was, but it's in the field, I think. I actually don't know. There is, but I mean, heck, they're sponsoring the series, so the Martin Sports BTDY Premier Series. Nothing better, let me tell you. So, yeah, like I said, long green flag run here. About a stint of 80 laps here this last green flag run. Had a few cautions earlier. David Shieldhouse, your leader, looking for his second win in the BTDY Premier Series, but he's being chased down by the Italian stallion AJ Stravado. There might be a chance that he could run him down and battle for third here on the racetrack. Seth Hatchell and Ben Bafford going at it here into turn 1. Bafford down to the inside. Move Ben Bafford up into the 3rd spot. Hatchell back down to 4th. Keith Mayato 5th. The Bentley Glazer ways back to Bentley Glazer. Joshua Banks, Eric Hutton showing some speed in that Canes car. He's working his way up to the field. He's got about 5 lap fresher tires than Joshua Banks and about 8 lap fresher tires than Bentley Glazer. Just a little tough to pass here. And, you know, we talk about cautions. This could be a chance where we see some aggressive racing, possibly leading to some incidents. And, you know, I'll tell you, the battle at the front might get interesting here. David Shieldhouse getting passed by Bailey Turner right now. But look at what's ahead of David Shieldhouse. A bunch of lap traffic, and I'm talking like 8 or 9 cars here.
Yeah, it's a big group of cars, and they're actually running side by side, so that makes it even tougher to navigate as these guys are inside the top 20 that he's going to start working on. Stravado's got his work cut out for him as well, though, because he has to get through the same lap cars.
He does, yeah.
Catching Shieldhouse is one thing,
but
he's going to have to navigate those cars the same as Shieldhouse.
Look at these guys going side by side. So it's going to be tough here. Oh, trouble. I think they saved it. Zach Smith very loose on the entry of the corner. And like you said, now they're side by side. And look at all these cars ahead of David Shieldhouse. A big gaggle of cars. It's going to slow him up here. And you can see Barrett's going to get out of the way. He's going to be 3 wide with Sullivan. This is Stravado's best chance. There's no way he can be able to make up enough time here. He's got to have Shieldhouse get caught up in a mistake here. Maybe trouble with the lap car. All going to depend here, but these lappers doing an awesome job, phenomenal job of getting out of the way of the leader, which I got to respect it. I'm glad they're getting out of the way. I know it's exciting for us to see, but it's good to see the respect that these guys are giving here and letting David Shieldhouse get by them.
Well, I tell you what, the lead was about 9.5 tenths. It's dropped down to 8.5, so it is holding him up, but like we said, Stravado has to navigate the same cars, and I think now he's to the inside where Shieldhouse took the outside on some of these guys. That'll lose him a little bit of time. He's going to have to pick and choose when he goes around them. We've got about 15 laps to go, and he is getting really impatient here with the one. He's trying to get around him. That's Zachary Smith, who just got loose there a moment ago. But, yeah, Stravado took it right to the bottom. He's trying to get around him as quick as he can.
Yeah. Stravado. Stravado's just catching the wrong cars. He's catching the cars at the wrong time. It's just unfortunate. Now, trouble for Shieldhouse is he's got 2 guys battling on the lead lap, trying to stay on their lap and also battling for position. Will be if a cost about the lucky dog here. And we got Lakatos, Josiah Vincent. we'll see what happens here. Shouldn't hold him up too much here. It's going to be kind of pinned here, and he should be able to get down to the outside here of Josiah Vincent. He'll get by Shieldhouse, or Shieldhouse will get by Lacotis, then he'll get by Vincent, and then now that'll put 3 cars ahead of AJ Stravato. Stravato doing a great job getting by McGarvin. I'll tell you, this battle for the Lucky Dogs getting a little wild here.
Yeah, we still got more cars in front of the 20 of Shieldhouse. He'll probably catch them before 175. You see, there's
wow, that's a lot of cars too. No, Bailey's got fresh counters. We got McGarvey, Mikulski, Lambert, Vincent. Is that Starling and Dice? I don't know if he'll get up to them. Actually, his pace, yeah, he probably will. So, another little set of lap cars, and right now AJ Stravato is just caught up in traffic with the 50 and the 3 here. So, he's just losing a lot of time here for Stravato. I don't know if he's going to have anything here for David Shieldhouse.
Yeah, it's a lot different take here because
pretty wide.
Battling, and yeah, the 33 is just getting him at the wrong time. He gets by 2 of them there, and the gap about 1.1 seconds. So he lost all that time that he made up. He gave it right back trying to navigate that traffic, and Shieldhouse kind of setting sail here. He's got another group of cars in front of him, the 42, Kyle McGarvey, Eric Lambert in that mix, the 10 of Noah Mikulski, and I don't know. I really don't know. These guys have been really courteous to the 20.
Yeah, they really have.
By on the outside.
Probably not the greatest thing for AJ Stravato, but, you know, it's good for Shieldhouse. And it's good to see the respect that these guys are showing the leaders here. So, now if I'm Shieldhouse, I'm a little worried of what I see out in my windshield. A lot of guys battling for position. Vincent, Mikulski, Turner, and then you got Lambert as well, and McGarvey. You know, a lot of guys battling here. And, you know, if these guys get together, where Shieldhouse is at, he's definitely in the danger zone of there being an incident. Doesn't want a caution come out with 10 to go, let me tell you.
You can see the 9 of Vincent on the outside there, the 10 of Noah Mikulski, and Vincent trying to get back up in that top 10. Nick Starling, Alan Dice. I think that Shieldhouse is going to catch all the way up to Dice. And what I said earlier in this race is, I mean, we talked about it. If this race goes green, you're going to see more than half this field go a lap down, and we're approaching that. We're almost beyond that point now.
Oh yeah, I mean, heck, there's 15 cars on the lead lap now, about to be 14. And heck, we only might have the top 10 on the lead lap at the pace that Shieldhouse is setting. Again, blistering pace from David Shieldhouse tonight. Definitely showing that he's a championship favorite.
33 Stravato did trim it back down to about 7/8 of a second, but again, he's got to get back to these lap cars that Shieldhouse is navigating. I see those 33. He's on point. He's just catching him at the wrong time.
Yeah. So it's just
he's in the wall. He hits the wall. That's not going to help his cause. Yeah. He comes off of turn 4 a little loose, got a little dirty air from the 42 of McGarvey, and now he's going to clip the wall. It's probably going to put the nail in the coffin here for the 33 unless we have a caution. Yeah,
that's unfortunately going to cause a little bit of damage and going to damage the car and maybe even the tires, and yeah, just not going to be good enough there. And yeah, that is unfortunate there. And honestly, David Shieldhouse just needs to. Oh, we got trouble! Bentley glitches around. And boys,
87 car goes around. He just tows it right to pit road. We got to go back and take a look at that.
We got, oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, this race has flipped on its head. See what happened here.
Just like that. We had a big check up there. The 68 got into the wall.
Oh, no, that's not McGarvey. Excuse me. That's Kyle Payne.
Kyle Payne hits the wall in the exit of 2. And Glazer has nowhere to go.
That is unfortunate. And Bentley Glazer is having such a good run here tonight as well. And now the field bringing it down to pit road. Only 14 cars on the lead lap. Shieldhouse brings him down. And right there, unfortunate. We talk about the lap cars, the danger that can happen there, and you can see Bentley Glazer getting some contact, and unfortunate.
Let's go one more time here. We're going to go with the drone camera and show you the exit speed for Payne as he comes off of 2. It's just such a dramatic drop. And the 87 just has nowhere to go. The 35 almost involved in that as well.
Yeah, a little clip. Yeah, and let me tell you, everybody now bringing it down pit road for some fresh Goodyear rubber. Looks like David Shieldhouse had a decent gap here, and he should be able to easily win the race off of pit road. Now the question is the battle for second and third. Looks like Stravado's gonna get it. That puts
Baffert,
Baffert.
Mayatu. Baffert's in about third and fourth position. Somebody's.
And then Hutton. See Hutton, there's Banks, Golly, Jeff Wright. See, and looking here, I think we're gonna see a lot of guys probably take the wave here. And man, look at, we're gonna have a 3-lap shootout is what it's looking like. Maybe even a 2-lap shootout. So, oh boy, it's gonna get wild. And look at who's in the mix. Ben Baffert, and we saw the battle Ben Baffert and David Schildhouse had last week. What's gonna happen this week? Will there be more contact? Or what does AJ Stravado have to say about this?
I'm not
Late
sure
race
what's
cautions.
going on here, but Jeremiah Vincent back.
No,
on pit
he got
road
the
here.
lucky. He got the lucky dog. So
Okay, okay.
he's
well,
gonna cycle to the back here.
Okay, that's where I was confused. It's like Vincent. Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah, yeah.
Vincent went a lap down. Yeah, he would have been a beneficiary had this caution come out a little bit sooner. I think the 9 of Vincent would have been on the lead lap.
Yeah.
Right, he's back in the right position in that 9th spot. He's able to recover, and
I see what you did there.
there's a yeah. Well, I did it last week too. I did it last
I
week.
got it.
I mean, the 48 car who led the vast majority of the beginning of this race was all the 48, and then that speeding penalty just destroyed. He's been in recovery mode from lap 50. You know?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And he's had a heck of a comeback. But now, you know, what's going to happen here? What are we going to see on this restart here? I think the lappers will probably go by here. Let's see. They will not. So that means we will be in an overtime finish here tonight to finish off the Simulator's Anonymous 150. David Schildhouse will be leading him here to green. Oh, man, it's going to be wild on this restart. We're going to see a lot of contact, and hopefully it's nothing too bad, but Schildhouse is going to have to hold on.
I mean, he's got very similar tires. I mean, they're all in the same stint now, so Stravado definitely leveled the playing field now. We don't have lap traffic to worry about. You know, just got lucky, very lucky for the 33. We know he's capable of it, but just the way that everything planned out and worked out in this race wasn't able to show it. Now, it's Schildhouse, Stravado, Baffert, Mayatu, Hatchell, and Hatchell was the leader coming out of those pit stops. Now he has a chance to come back and recover from, short pittings. It just completely flipped this race on its head, and Schildhouse is going to have his work cut out for him because he's got a lot of hungry cars behind him.
He sure does. And see, the lap cars will go by. We'll be settling this race, like I said, overtime, I believe. Actually, no. It's going to be in the regulation, but overtime
Green,
is
white, checkered in
definitely going to be
regulation.
possible. Yeah, it's a green, white, checkered in regulation. Remember, we do get three attempts at a green, white, checkered here tonight. Let me tell you, it is going to be wild. David Schildhouse will lead him to green. We're going to have 2 laps to go. The Italian Stallion to his outside, AJ Stravado. Ben Baffert in third. We saw a great battle between him and Schildhouse last week at the Roval. Here we go, under the lights to finish off the Simulator's Anonymous 150. The pace truck will pull off into pit lane. Green, white, checkered in regulation. Schildhouse, Stravado, Schildhouse on the gas, breaking away. 2 laps to go from Iowa.
Great start for the 20 of Schildhouse as he gets out. He gets to run his line on the exit of 2. The 23 really loose, and then he's going to go almost sideways into the wall. They've got three wide down on the exit. Yusef Ghali goes around. There's 3 wide off the exit of 2. Still 3 wide as they go back. Banks, Hutton on the outside. The 48 of Wright. White flag in the air. Caution comes out. It's over. These guys are going to run it to the line. Schildhouse going off at turn 2. He's setting sail. Stravado falls back. Baffert. We've got Mayatu side by side with Hatchell, but it's going to be
not gonna matter. David Schildhouse.
David Schildhouse all the way off the exit here. Great finish here, and the 23 and 33 get together on the exit.
What a finish for second. Ben Baffert edges out his teammate, AJ Stravado, but David Schildhouse in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Chevrolet Camaro, second win of the season. And our first multi-time winner, David Schildhouse, has gotten it done at the Iowa Speedway. He wins the Simulator's Anonymous 150. What a race here tonight from the Iowa Speedway, and hats off to David Schildhouse How many laps did he lead? Let's take a gander here as he does it. Burns it down here on the front stretch. His second win, leads 97 laps. The most laps led here tonight. Started 7th and brings it home a winner. Second win of the season for David Shieldhouse. We'll be right back to talk to your top 3 and including your winner, David Shieldhouse.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the nurturing reader at New Jersey street fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
All right, final race recap here. We got this final start, pretty much a regulation green-white checker, and just crazy finish. We're going to see Yusef Ghali, and I'm not sure exactly what happened. We haven't reviewed the replays yet, but they go into turns 1 and 2. I think Yusef gets some contact. A car blinks out there.
Yeah, you can see the stack up from Baffert getting loose, and then he bounces off of Joshua Banks, hits the inside wall, and it looks like like I said, no caution was thrown. And then you can see, look at these guys sliding around. Jeff Wright gets into Eric Hutton. They slide around. Then he catches the wall. And then, you can see Mayano, a huge send. How about Noah Mikulski was able to bring it up there as well. And I think he was battling for the top 10. Alan Dice was able to actually bring it home a top 10. But you can see here, the teammate
for a second. This is the one I want to see right here, because the 23 gets it done, and these guys make major contact off of 4.
Oh, look at that. Baffert and Stravado, they door bang, they slide, and they spin, and Baffert just edging out AJ Stravado here. And speaking of AJ Stravado, we'll pull him up here for an interview. Let's see if we can get AJ here.
That was okay.
No. Sorry, I hate to interrupt you. AJ Stravado, you got a copy, driver?
I do have a copy. How we doing?
We're doing really good, buddy. A heck of a finish between you and your teammate Ben Baffert there for the second position. I think you bring it home third here. Race went green the entire time, and you were able to be in second, kind of running down David Shieldhouse. Was there anything you needed here to maybe catch Shieldhouse?
I think just in that long green flag run, we had just a little bit better track position. I think I was 6th or 8th, somewhere around there at the start of the restart. The second run we had, tried to save a little bit at the beginning, and it really paid off. I was making a good bit of ground right there. I think we were the fastest car in the long run at one point, and just got an unfortunate caution, and just had to drive a little bit differently. I think push a little bit harder at the beginning of the run than I think I had originally planned to during the race, and ended up working out. We ended up getting a second, and we're catching David there. Just the pit sequence we had, David I think had a pretty clean exit and entry, and had a little bit of trouble with some lap cars, but I know he did throughout the last run as well. So that was a lot of fun, and really fun finish between me and Ben at the end. That's I'll take, I guess, instead of finishing second all the damn time, I'll take finishing third on a finish like that. So that was a fun race, and I was a
Absolutely.
fun track, so can't complain.
Hey, 3 for Dales, they say, right?
Hell yeah, brother. Three
All
for
right.
Dale, 33.
Well, next week we keep it on the short tracks. We go out to the Desert Sun in Phoenix, Arizona. Well, not in Phoenix, it's in Avondale, but we go out to the Phoenix Raceway. How do you feel about going out there next week?
I'm not very good there, so that's probably my worst track, I'd say, on the service. So got my work cut out for me, but I think we can get another solid top five and just think continue to extend our points lead. I know it's a tit for tat with how close some of the front guys are and points and where they're running at the end. So as long as we can just keep on building on that, I think I'm going to be missing Texas or a race upcoming here soon. So
Mm,
hopefully we can continue to run well, and go from there.
absolutely. Well, buddy, before we let you go and have a celebrate the P3, is there anybody we got to shout out to?
Just all the league admins, you guys, VSPEED below the double yellow. It was fun racing Adam today. I think the sponsor Simulator Anonymous for coming on board, and all the sponsors that sponsor the league. It's always a fun league on Tuesday nights to just have a good time, and glad we could get a good result.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, again, congratulations on P3, and we will see you out next week here in Phoenix.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good one. AJ Stravato, your third place finisher tonight in the Simulators Anonymous 150. Now we'll move it up to his teammate who had a heck of a finish in the battle for second. Driver Ben Bafford, driver number 23. Ben, you got a copy?
I do have a copy.
Well, Ben, you're bringing home P2, side by side battle, spin into the line with AJ Stravato, your teammate. What more did you need maybe to either get that win or even, run him down on the long run?
Well, start of the race, I was thinking, just save on the bottom, just have a fun time, make my way to the front, and it just never happened. The last green flag run, I just pushed for everything I had, never fell off, so it was very hard to pass. Racing at night, you can't really do much. That middle run, you just hope and pray that you're good in about 20 laps, but that was a fun battle, a good win to David. I think if I had a little bit of track position, I might have had a shot at the win, but we'll get what we got.
Absolutely. Well, next week we keep it on the short tracks. Go out to Phoenix Raceway next week. How do you feel about going out there?
I don't race at Phoenix very much, so it's going to be an interesting race. But the rest of the schedule looks pretty good. Hoping to get a win or two in a few weeks, but we'll give it the best we have.
All right, buddy. Well, before we let you go, anybody want to give a shout out to tonight?
Shout out to y'all up in the VSPEED booth. Y'all did a great job. Proud of y'all for sticking with us. BTDY as a whole is doing pretty good. It was a fun race. Nexus, everybody. That was fun.
Heck yeah, man. Well, again, congratulations on the second place, and we will see you next week in Phoenix.
Absolutely.
All righty. And then that's second place, Ben Bafford, and then Bradley will be interviewing our winner here tonight, David Shieldhouse. Let's get him up here.
Down here in BTDY Victory Lane, winner of tonight's race, David Shieldhouse, getting it done in the Simulators Anonymous 150. David, once you got up there in the lead, you never looked back, led 97 laps here tonight. The unfortunate event with the 48, getting that speeding penalty, just kind of set sail after that.
Well, first of all, unfortunate for him, fortunate for the rest of us. Second of all, he didn't speed. That man had to pee. So we can give a shout out to Jeff Wright's tiny bladder for tonight's win, I guess you could say. Other than that, yeah, man, I did not think I was going to win this race. The Heartbeat Hot Sauce Chevy Camaro was just a dream tonight. And we just went out there and did the thing, man. I was just talking with AJ. It all came down to that green flag pit stop. I knew if I could execute and pit one lap after AJ, I felt pretty good about it. But then I saw all these lapped cars ahead of me, and then it wasn't heartbeat, it was heartburn. And my heartbeat was going a little bit quicker because there was just so many lapped cars making it really hard. That was a lot of fun. I just can't believe we've won 2 out of 3 races here in BTDY. That is so cool. And to win at Iowa, a track that I love, in this Xfinity car that I love so much, man, that means a lot.
We saw the action with the lap traffic and you navigating through there, and you were getting through them a little bit better than Stravato was. Then we had the caution come out that completely reset the field. What was going through your mind when that happened?
Heck. It wasn't quite that word, but you can imagine it was something close to that. That was pretty much what I said. I I was watching these guys racing, and I really had low confidence we'd get to the end. I was hoping we would. At that point, I knew I just had to come down, make a pit stop, and then just run basically 2 qualifying laps and hope they don't wreck. If I could do that and run my line, then I felt pretty good about it. I figured they would be battling behind me, and that's exactly how it worked out. I'm just glad that we were able to seal the deal, finish this thing off, and bring home another win. We ran really well tonight, and it would have been a shame if it didn't go our way. So proud to have that. And you said this is the Simulators Anonymous 175 or something like that. There's nothing anonymous
150.
here. 150, sorry. Whatever the number is, there ain't nothing anonymous about the 20, all right? They know who we are. We are here to win this championship. We got 2 wins under our belt. Come on.
Well, you're able to clear on the restart, get to run your line, and did a great job. We're going to Phoenix next week, and I know that a lot of guys don't like it. We've had probably 100 different configurations on the service with that track. So what's in store for us next week?
Nothing. I won't be here because I'll actually be in Phoenix.
Oh.
So the field gets a break next week. I won't be there, unfortunately. I head out early to Phoenix, so no BTDY for me next week. But if I was there, I'd go out and try and do the same damn thing. Unless I could find a simulator in Phoenix to go jump on, which maybe I could. I know enough people out there. Maybe I could find somebody that would let me jump on their sim rig. So if anybody out there in the Phoenix metro area has a sim rig for me to use next Tuesday night so I can go out here and go back-to-back in BTDY, I would be greatly appreciative. Reach out to me. You know how to get a hold of me.
David Shieldhouse, great win tonight. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out?
Again, a big thank you to everybody at Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Alpha Prime Racing, everybody at twitch.tv/Shieldhouse. The children were watching this. They were watching, I don't know, there's some other big sim racing thing going on that I guess didn't go too good. This was the real show tonight on Tuesday night, BTDY. The real all-stars were driving here. This was the real one. We got ourselves a dub. And shout out to you guys for putting on the show. I'm sure Alec was screaming his head off and enjoying the racing as always. I can't wait to go back and watch it. So enjoy. If I see you next week, we'll see you next week. If I don't see you next week, then we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate
Hey,
it.
good luck this weekend and have fun in Phoenix there, David.
Thanks. I appreciate it. It can only go better. It can only get better than Fontana, right? We can only go up from what we saw there. So
Exactly.
we'll pray for a little bit better out in the West Coast swing. But real life, sim racing, Alpha Prime on the rise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good. Congrats, David.
Thanks, boys.
David Shieldhouse, tonight's winner of the Simulators Anonymous 150. Man, Bradley, what a race here tonight from Iowa. And how about we take a look at our results here?
Yeah, last week made a quick mistake there, and I want to apologize for that.
Okay.
You know, sometimes we forget to click things. And so here we are, race results for tonight. We had 4 cautions, 6 lead changes. Unfortunately, Jeff Wright and his tiny bladder. That's news to me. I didn't know that.
That's a good one. Yeah. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be unfortunate for Jeff in the chat over here. So, he's gonna have to live that one down.
Yeah, I just that's something that I ask before I leave for a trip. Does anyone have to pee? Because
Exactly.
this is a long trip, 150 miles here tonight at Iowa Speedway. But David Shieldhouse getting it done. Ben Bafford, AJ Stravato, Seth Hatchell, Keith Mayatu, Eric Hutton, Joshua Banks, Jeff Wright, and what we got, Bailey Turner and Alan Deisher, top 10.
And 11th here, we got Noah Mikulski, a great run for him. Nick Starling, great run. He'll be in 12th. Jeremiah Vincent led some laps today. He'll come home 13th. Eric Lambert, I believe, holds the manor for the best finishing Simulators Anonymous car. He'll bring it home in 14th. His teammate Kyle McGarvey, 15th. Josiah Vincent, 16th. Casey Licano, 17th. Kevin McGarvey, 18th. Jordan Shepler, 19th. And Yusuf Ghali, 20th.
21st position, unfortunate. We had VSPEED's Adam Baker, got caught up in that early accident, was never able to recover, so he'll be in the 21st spot. David Faircloth, that flashy paint scheme, going to be Dennis Faircloth.
Dennis Faircloth. There you
Sorry
go.
about that. Yeah. Dennis Faircloth, sorry about that. 22nd position, that flashy paint. Zach Smith in 23rd. We've got Max Cost in 24th, 25th, Kyle Payne, 26th, Kevin Barrett, 27th, Mark McFadden, 28th, Dallas Sullivan, Bentley Glazer in 29th, and Chris Simmerd in 30th.
And 31st was Cody Atkins. 32nd, Robert Gilmore. 33rd was Jordan Brockle. 34th, Reggie Ortega. 35th, Ryan Gimmel. 36th was Lane Solferch. And rounding out the field tonight was Mark Beverly. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the finish. And that was the official results of the Simulators Anonymous 150 from Iowa. Man, what a race. And looking forward to getting out to the Arizona desert and going out to Phoenix. Heck, I think it's even Phoenix week next week in real life as well. So that's going to be fun. Can't wait to go out there. Again, thank you all for watching. Bradley, anything to close this thing out?
Well, we're going from one state that could grow corn to a state that can barely grow anything. We're going to the desert, and it's going to be hot out there. I'd say the heartburn will be affecting all these drivers. The Heartbeat Hot Sauce Machine getting it done here tonight. But next week, he said he's giving the field a break. We're going to have all the names you're familiar with. Ben Bafford, AJ Stravato, Seth Hatchell, Mayatu Hutton. These guys have been putting on a show. If you like the broadcast here tonight at VSPEED, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like, share, follow. We really appreciate it. Get the word out there for VSPEED. We've been putting it in here for 3-4 plus years. We want to keep bringing you flag-to-flag coverage here at BTDY. For everybody here at VSPEED, myself, Bradley Cooper, Alec Martinez, and Adam Baker, we thank you for your time. Hope to see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Oh, big wiggle.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out for 37.
Oh!
Cabot.
Where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punt for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The